Garbage day! Hello!
Hello!
Welcome to the Witch Finger.
Hello!
Welcome to Witch Finger Horror Podcast. How are you guys doing tonight, Megan?
I'm great!
Morgan?
I am also great!
Myself, Yasmina. I'm doing alright. Doing alright.
Alright?
Yeah, I've got my Heineken here, mixing it with some Clamato, because I like to make red eyes.
I'm feeling that tonight.
Yeah, you guys are both drinking red eyes.
I know.
I'm drinking a multitude of
I
other
have to admit, I'm drinking a red eye because it makes me cut my beer in half.
You're right. You don't get as wasted when you drink them. It's true. I have coerced Megan, my roommate, who actually also lives with me, into liking red eyes.
Yeah.
It's good.
You know what?
Okay.
May I have a sip of your flavor of Clamato and beer mixed together?
It's awesome. It's kind of like a beer that kind of tastes like a Caesar. I like it.
It's a Beezer.
Yeah,
Tastes pretty good.
right. Actually,
I'm into
does
it.
America have Clamato?
No,
Because they
actually.
don't.
They don't do
Americans
Caesars.
don't do Caesars.
No,
they
Caesar.
do Bloody Marys.
Yeah, so here we are. If you are from America, us Canadians, we have this magical drink in our special frozen land, and we call it a Caesar.
Yeah.
A Bloody Caesar, and it's sort of like a Bloody Mary, but it's more delicious.
It's
and
got
we use
more clam juice in it.
Clamato juice,
Yeah.
but also like
weird.
more seasoning salt, and we put Worcestershire sauce, which again I think is something that they don't really do much of.
Yeah.
in the
Horseradish.
States.
It's good with horseradish.
Because Worcestershire sauce is like a British thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
It's a very strange word.
Yeah, it's like drinking like tomato soup, kind of.
Okay,
But spicy tomato soup.
it's got clams in it.
Well, but
though.
with clams.
The main
Yes.
ingredient is clams. Back to the horror.
Yeah.
So what are we watching tonight? We are watching Slaughter High.
We're watching Slaughter High, and this was actually a special request off of our Facebook
So keep
by
them coming.
Kristen, who said we should do Slaughter High, and we were like, yes, Kristen, that is a great idea. So we're gonna watch the movie tonight, and we have lots of things planned. Lots of things have happened today, actually. Today's been a weird day. So
Today was a very sad day.
we're gonna
wasn't
talk.
it,
Yeah,
Morgan?
we are gonna talk about this for a second here. So today is the day. Obviously, we're gonna be posting this like a week from the date, but today, April 21st, was the day that Prince died.
So sad.
Prince fucking died.
Very unfortunate.
And I'm really, really sad about it. Like, I've had a couple drinks now. We actually started drinking before the podcast hit record, and tears are starting to come to my eyes.
So
right
young,
now.
57.
I know, and they're
57.
purple tears.
Purple tears.
Purple tears.
And Morgan loves Prince so much that she was him for Halloween a couple of years ago, and it was fantastic.
Oh,
Well,
And
I'm
people
gonna
didn't
share a
even
picture
fucking
of that.
recognize you.
No, I know. It
Like,
was
people
really
didn't even know
creepy.
that it was you.
I'm
the
a great
next
drag
day.
king, I guess.
Yeah. I know. Diamonds and pearls.
I know. Fuck,
So
I'm
fucked
so
up.
upset. What a tragedy. He was such an amazing artist. Such a talent. Holy shit. Like, what a fucking day.
He was a great, great man.
Oh my god.
We got to see him in concert, though,
Yes,
you
we
and
did.
I, Morgan.
Oh, you guys went
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
No, actually, I saw...
Don't say
Same
it. Don't
tour.
lie
Well,
to
yeah,
me.
we saw him together.
Liars.
Separately, but together.
We actually, Morgan went to the show in our city in London, and I went to the show in Toronto.
Oh, wow.
It was on the
And,
same tour. I think it was like...
it was the same tour, but for some reason my show was like a week earlier, even
Right.
though Toronto's just a couple hours away. But seriously, one of the fucking best shows I've ever seen in my entire life.
Phenomenal.
He busted out Purple Rain second song.
Yes, he did.
Second song, Purple
Can I
Rain.
get an amen?
Fucking had like
Was he on a
confetti.
motorcycle? Oh, okay.
No, but there was like a confetti, like purple confetti everywhere. The stage was in the shape of the Prince symbol. It was incredible. Like, it was the greatest thing ever. And we went with me and my boyfriend Owen. We went with a friend of ours, Jamie, who is like the biggest Prince fan ever, and he cried. I'm pretty sure he cried.
Aw.
Like, as soon as Prince came out on the stage, like, we were like, oh my god, Prince!
You know what? It's funny too. As soon as you had told me, Yasmina, today, and we kind of were like, oh my god, we're in such shock, but we were at the gym, so it was like, okay, we have to, keep moving, keep going. And I walked out of the change room and into the main lobby of the gym, and Purple Rain was playing. And then I was like, oh my god, I have to look at my phone, and who texts me but Jamie? And he's telling me that we need to get matching purple teardrop tattoos.
On your face?
On yeah.
No, not on my face. I'm not gonna tattoo
Like
on
a
my
criminal?
face. Yes, exactly.
A fabulous criminal.
Oh my god. And he was saying that he was about to go into an exam, but he didn't think he could do it because he was so choked up about Prince.
I know, man. Prince was amazing. Honestly,
damn.
like even just I love Purple Rain, the movie.
Can we dedicate this episode to Prince?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
This whole episode is
Nice.
dedicated to Prince. But seriously, the movie
Purple
holy
Rain is
fuck,
outrageous.
So
it's
good.
ridiculous. I
It's
love
so
when
good.
they go on him and the chick there on the motorcycle and they drive into the forest and just him in nature. He's still wearing his like full on tight pants and like pointy shoes.
Yes.
You know, and everything. And the fact that he makes her take her clothes off and he like doesn't she like go into the river and she
Yeah,
gets
and
all
he takes
wet?
all her
And
clothes.
he's like, see you later. He takes
Yeah,
her clothes
he
and just drives away. And then she still comes back for more.
I know.
Because that's how amazing Prince is.
I know.
He
Oh,
can treat you like shit, but you'll come back for more.
crawling back for more. Yeah, those
Yeah.
pointy shoes were an inspiration. Oh,
Say.
Yeah.
love
good.
it.
But anyways,
Slaughter High.
Slaughter High.
1986.
All right, so we were actually watching Slaughter High on YouTube. The whole movie is on YouTube, which is pretty amazing.
we
I
go.
love that there's full movies on YouTube. It is a great, great thing. So Slaughter High was released in 1986. It has 3 directors.
It is.
You okay there, Megan?
It's the 30th anniversary of Slaughter High then. 86.
Yeah.
'cause I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the movie was directed by George Dugdale, Mark Ezra, and Peter Litton. And we're in the opening scene here, and they're at the college, or is this a high school?
It's a high school, yeah.
That's right, yeah, because
They
there's
look a
high
little
school
old for high
reunion.
school, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of being old, Carolyn Monroe, the main actress who plays Carol in the movie, was actually 36 years old at the time.
Playing a teenager.
Wow.
Portraying a teenager. And at the time,
shit.
her and George Dugdale, one of the directors, were actually dating at the time, and which they're married.
they're married. Yeah,
They're still together now.
Yep.
Well, I wonder how she got the part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casting couch.
She's gorgeous, though. She was also she played Victoria, which was Vincent Price's like deceased wife in the abominable Dr. Phibes movies.
Oh,
So you only
cool.
see her as like a corpse, and you only see her face in a painting. And she was also the main actress Anna in the original Maniac.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
I
we're going
haven't
to talk
seen-
about that
Yeah,
movie. We're going
which
to talk about
should
that
be
movie.
on the slasher list.
It's
I know.
on the
I've
fucking
actually, I've
slasher
never,
list.
no wait. Well, I've seen the original Maniac, but it was honestly like I haven't seen it in like 15 years. But I
Likewise,
did
yeah.
enjoy the remake with
I
Elijah
enjoyed it as
Wood.
well. I thought it was fabulous.
You know what I loved about it the most, though? The fucking
soundtrack?
soundtrack.
Yeah,
The fucking
yeah,
soundtrack. It's incredible, and the composer just goes by the name Rob.
Good for...
Just Rob.
That's just Rob.
I actually really like the cinematography in the remake. I thought
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
shots were beautiful.
Yeah, they were.
Gorgeous shots.
It
And
was
I love
fabulous.
because Elijah Wood in real life is actually really hilarious, and
Yeah.
he is very, amazing at portraying like a psycho and like Maniac and was it Sin City?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
he was awesome in Sin City as well. But yeah, either way, I think they're both good. The original and the remake were both good.
Yeah, she doesn't look like a high school student. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but Carolyn Monroe also was a model who actually started in the 60s. She was in Vogue magazine like at the age of 17 and
I
stuff
can
like
see
that.
that.
Yeah, so she also was a Bond girl. She's
cool.
in Casino Royale and The Spy Who Loved Me. And also another strange fact that I did find in my research that she was actually put out a single and she was signed to Gary Newman's record label.
No
in
way,
the 80s,
really?
Numa Records, and her
Blue Monday?
single was called "Pump Me Up," and based on what I saw, it didn't do very well.
I was going to say, and did it take off?
Yeah, no, it did
So
not.
it didn't pump people up.
No, it didn't pump them up at all.
That's
But
unfortunate.
maybe it pumped Gary Newman up. Who knows? But he signed her to his label, and that didn't really.
But she only
go
released
anywhere.
the one single. It wasn't like a whole
I
album.
didn't see anything about an album. I just saw a single. Usually, I guess for pop music, they put out a single. If it takes off, then they'll finish the album. If not, then I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's tons and tons of stuff about this movie. One of the directors, Peter Litton, actually is the guy who created Max Headroom.
Max Headroom is made of nightmares. He is terrifying. When I was a kid, I remember the Max Headroom show being on TV, but I was very, very young. Oh my god, don't even do that. No, it's so scary. And then when he was in Back to the Future Part 2, they just used Max Headroom's like face for the waiter, the digital waiter in the future. Even that scared me when I was a kid. Max Headroom, he is made of nightmares. Terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, I guess, from what I had seen, that was one of his most well-known things. Is that a condom?
I don't know
what is that. Oh, what?
It's like a condom with udders on it.
Okay, so yeah, we actually have started the movie. I know we just kind of go off on our drunken ranting tangents.
I feel really bad for this kid.
Yeah, so he's in the shower room, I'm assuming, and all the jocks just came in. He was making out with Carol.
No, he wasn't. She pretended that she wanted to make out with him.
Oh,
and now we have the creepy janitor looking in the girl's locker.
Yeah,
and I feel
really
so
creepy.
bad for nerds, man.
Don't fuck with the nerds, man.
Slutty bitches.
No.
Everyone knows don't fuck with the nerds.
Yeah, because they'll grow up to have all the knowledge, and they'll
get revenge.
They'll find a way to fuck you up, which is, the premise of this movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit, this guy's reminding me a lot of like a really young nerdy Stephen King.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Look at this kid.
Well, this guy, his name is Simon Scudamore.
Oh.
And actually, very unfortunate, he committed suicide a few days after the release of the movie. Yeah,
we just saw his coffee book.
Yeah, that's right. So there actually is a frontal nudity scene that just happened where we saw his panos.
Oh my god, they're like, what are they doing? They're poking his wiener?
Oh, that's mean.
This is horrible.
This is brutal.
Oh my god. Oh, and now they're electrocuting him?
Jocks are mean.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really sad about that actor. I did try to find a little bit of information about like his death and the circumstances and whatnot.
Yeah, me too.
And there's a few message boards on IMDb that are sort of dedicated to it, but there was really nothing concrete.
Yeah, it was actually really hard to find the info about him, but I did actually find an interview with one of the directors that was done recently.
Okay.
And apparently, during shooting, he was told that he did use heroin regularly, but during shooting, as far as the director knew, he was clean during shooting, but it's most obviously a drug overdose of heroin, so that's probably how but he did it says that it was suicide. Maybe he was just
so
unhappy,
maybe it was
but
intentional.
He was a heroin user, so that's unfortunate. Don't do heroin, kids. It's not good
drugs
for
are
ya.
bad.
Drugs are bad, okay?
It's interesting too because there is actually another suicide that is linked to producers of this movie. So Dick Randall, who is one of the producers of this movie, also worked on another movie called Don't Open Till Christmas. Mm-hmm. And there was another man, one of the actors who played the killer in that movie. His name was Alan Lake, and he also committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so kind of a crazy story
it's like a
as well.
poltergeist curse going on.
Yeah, but so his story is that he, Diana Dors was like sort of an English like pinup model and actress. She's sort of like, during the time of Marilyn Monroe, like a whole bunch of them kind of popped up, very similar, whatever. So he was married to her, and she had died of ovarian cancer, and then he was like, he couldn't take it, and he blew his head off in his like kid's bedroom or something.
Oh,
lovely. They had
totally
kids. Great.
Yeah.
Now both the parents are
Something
dead.
totally messed up like that. So yeah, a lot of really crazy stuff sort of surrounding this movie.
I like how you mentioned Poltergeist, Megan, because I always loved that they used real human skeletons.
Come on, in the pool.
In the pool. Because it was just cheaper. Can you imagine? Like, it's like shit like that you can't get away with now.
No,
It would
not
not
at
be
all.
cheaper now at all.
No,
But also
and
just
like,
like-
and why would
Like
you?
the whole logic behind it. Like the principle of using
would not be
like
cost
actual
effective
bodies.
Well, Well, isn't that why there's a curse? Because of all the human bones that they use, all the
didn't even think about that.
angry spirits. That's just what I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be it.
Yeah, it's completely linked.
There's also The Omen is one of those movies where the set was cursed because a couple people also died.
All for
I know. It's all for you, Damien. I know that the actor that played the father of Damien in the original Omen, his son, one of his children, killed himself like a week before shooting started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Jesus,
so
Murph.
they thought that they had to put shooting on hold, but he was like, no, I want to work.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, get your
Get
mind
it out
off
of
of
my
it.
mind.
This is a really morbid episode so far.
Yeah.
We promise we're not going to keep talking about suicide.
I know. And Prince's death.
I know.
Stop it, you
This is
bitches!
a super fucked up episode so far.
It's because, you know what? I have so much empathy for this nerd right now. Like, I just
know.
want him to start killing people so I can stop thinking about how bad I feel for him.
I do feel bad for all nerds going through this period in their life in high school. Like, it's terrible. I got made fun of, I guess, like in junior high. Once I got to high school, in my more goth years.
Did you
I
say
had more,
junior
like,
high?
Yeah,
Is there
well,
junior
I
high
was
in
in
Canada?
Alberta.
Oh,
yeah, so I
okay.
grew up in Alberta. I went to
Okay.
junior high, and I was always like the fat foreign kid. And then I went to high school, and there was other freak kids, so I made friends with all the punks and the goths and stuff. But why do people always have to find the need to pick on nerds? Because nerds are always the ones that are going to be more successful in their futures because they're smart. They go to great colleges and universities, and then they graduate and they have degrees and then make fucking tons of money. And all the jocks just become cops. And they're
We all
just
know where that
like, yeah,
leads
they're
to.
just all dicks. And all the sluts just get fucking knocked up, and then they're...
Drink white
Yeah.
wine at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you go to your high school reunion, you feel really good about yourself.
That's right.
right,
I
Look
think
at those
that's what-
push-ups.
No,
Those are some of
no,
the worst push-ups
no.
I've ever seen.
Not good. Oh, this music is so typical.
Yeah, it's like...
What's that show that you made me watch? About the high school kids, junior high kids. Degrassi!
Oh my god, Megan has never seen Degrassi.
Well, I mean, you made me watch it, so I
Wow.
saw it.
Degrassi is like a Canadian institution.
Yeah.
It's
But it's like that boing, da doing, doing.
look at the
Yeah.
that girl. Look at how she's doing push-ups. She's humping the ground. I'm pretty sure I saw Prince do that in a video once.
I saw Prince do that in real life.
Yeah. That guy was twerking.
Yeah.
He just twerked. Also, I just want to point out that the 80s were such a splendid time
I miss
for shorts.
The 80s so
For
much.
shorts. All of these guys are wearing like booty shorts, like straight up.
If I had the chance to go back in time, I would definitely go back in the mid-70s because I do love disco. So at least I could be, like, I want to be like a very early teen, like maybe 12 in the mid-70s, and then so I could experience the muscle cars.
Yeah,
because
girl.
like it's like Dazed and Confused to me is like car porn. I fucking love those
Yes.
cars. And then just, you know, and experience high school in the 80s. I want that to happen.
I'd like to be an adult in the 80s because that's when all the good fucking paying jobs and shit were still around.
When IBM was
Like the 80s.
He's lighting
people-
a joint with a Bunsen.
That's a big joint. The nerd's smoking a huge joint right now.
yeah.
Is he?
But
trying
he's
to,
like cupping his hands
Is he
with
trying
the
to
joint
figure it
between
out?
his fingers.
Yeah, that's the
Maybe
thing.
he doesn't want to get too high.
Then he shouldn't be smoking such a cannon. Is he on fire? No, sorry.
Oh my god! It actually looked like he was. That was pretty fucked up. He's not doing a very good job of smoking that joint.
He's also not doing a very good job of being a nerd. The
No.
nerds don't smoke weed in chemistry class.
No, well, maybe he's trying
bit
really
rebellious.
hard to change people's opinions of him.
Some-
Also, I love that like sizzling beaker over there. Like, does that really happen in chemistry class?
No.
No. It's
So-
like some spooky lab.
Yeah. So this movie, actually, the original working title was April Fool's Day.
Yep.
And
Crazy.
they had to change it, obviously, for
Clearly.
the other April Fool's Day that was being released.
Which is another great slasher.
Yeah, I actually, I love watching that movie because Biff from Back to the Future is in it. Speaking of the 80s and shorts, I think I've mentioned this before, but Sleepaway Camp is definitely
Yes.
one of the
A
greatest
great short
80s
shorts
horror
movie.
movies with so many shorts and crop tops for men.
Yeah.
Like, why did guys wear crop tops in the 80s?
I don't know. It was, I guess maybe there was like the aerobics craze was like a big thing and that
Yeah.
sort of influenced the style. And so people just wore like leotards and short shorts and crop tops and
Yeah.
it was okay for a man to, you know, show a little bit of upper thigh and also maybe have part of his scrotum hang out of the side of his shorts, you know?
Drift, yeah.
Completely acceptable. Socially acceptable.
I always liked an 80s movie for short shorts. For me is Carrie. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Carrie, there's a lot of short shorts in Carrie, and they're so cute.
Yeah. Actually, Carrie is a perfect example of another revenge horror flick.
Fucking right.
Because she's obviously the unpopular girl, and all the popular girls make fun of her, and then she, you know, like, seeks revenge on them, which is an amazing scene with the blood
call.
falling
Oh,
on
it's so
her.
fabulous.
It's
And
such
she
a
looks and
fucking
it's like,
great scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that actually Carrie is the first Stephen King story that was adapted into a film?
really?
And
Yeah.
it was his first novel published. So there
nice.
you go.
Wow. And one of the most fabulous.
I just always remember people being scared to death at the very end of the movie when the hand comes out of the grave. I just, like, I've read a lot of articles about that part being like the very first like scare jump scene in a horror movie that actually scared the fuck out of people back then.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. The 70s, it seemed like, were kind of like a turning point for a lot of those kinds of movies, and like a lot of people had never seen stuff like that before. Like, I remember my mom telling me that her and my dad went on a date to go and see The Exorcist, and it was, she said, one of the most terrifying things she's ever experienced. She had nightmares and she couldn't sleep. It was just horrifying.
that.
You know, because like that movie was just
I seriously
Beyond.
think The Exorcist is one of the scariest movies in history.
absolutely.
Did you know actually
it.
that a man in the theater when The Exorcist first came out was so scared that he actually fainted, and when he fainted he fell forward and his head hit the seat in front of him and he got knocked out, and he sued the fucking like the makers of like the distribution of the movie, and he won. And because of that is why they had paramedics like ready and waiting for people outside of the theater. And speaking of that, also The Conjuring, I didn't know this, but when The Conjuring came out, I'm not sure who hired the like, I guess they hired like priests and stuff to actually like bless you after coming out of the movie, to like rid of any like evil around you after
I
seeing
would have
The Conjuring.
pushed them away.
I'd have been like, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's not even good promotion. Like, that's corny.
No,
Okay,
but
so
you-
we're...
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say too, the Blair Witch was another movie when that
Yeah.
came out that people were like getting ill, physically ill, and because I think it's like the camera shaking.
It's-
I thought
yeah,
it was
the camera
really,
shaky
but, like
thing
a lot of
was-
people were throwing up.
Yeah.
So we're at the scene where the nerd...
Marty,
thank you. He's being burned because the nitric acid was on his face. There's a big fire. Okay, so he's being disfigured.
And everybody's
the students
just
are watching.
standing there
No one's
watching.
trying to help him.
No one's helping at all.
So this is the turning point for him, I suppose.
His face is all bombed
He's
up
gonna-
and depleted.
Come back and fuck shit up.
yeah, it was Warner Brothers that the guy sued for The Exorcist.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, for when he knocked his head out at the movie,
Look
and
at that.
he won.
Bad.
Okay, so I'm assuming this is probably now in the future,
Yeah.
and Carol just woke up in bed, and that is the greatest bedroom I've. It's
probably
headboard,
a water
wallpaper. I love all the wallpaper
Oh,
in this
yeah.
in this bedroom in her house or apartment or wherever she is.
So 80s.
I love all the like even just like, you know how like the carpet, obviously the infamous Shining carpet, and all of the wallpaper that's happening here in her apartment. Like, you don't really see that very often anymore.
No. Oh, look at Pieces.
Yeah, actually, so she's on the phone with that's like the manager of porn movies. And in his office, you see the poster for Pieces, and that's because the producer of Slaughter High, Steve Manassian, is also the producer of Pieces.
Oh, that's cool.
they
So
put
he's
that
giving
in
a little
there.
bit of cross promotion there.
Yeah.
I like it.
I've actually never seen Pieces, but I know it just recently came out on Blu-ray. I do want to watch it.
Yeah, we should Add it to the list.
Yeah. So I think this is the first time all three of us have seen this, right?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, none of us have seen Slaughter
No.
High, so this is the first viewing for all three of us. I just looked up on IMDb. It's got a 5.2 on IMDb.
That's better than some of the movies we've watched previously.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it has a 0%.
On
Rotten Tomatoes.
No, but that's because if you see underneath it says that there's no review available.
Oh, but the audience score is 35. 35%.
Okay.
But I guess, like, critics just didn't even bother
No.
with it.
They're like, why
Look at
even
that
waste my
pathetic
time?
stream of water coming out of her shower.
Oh.
There's always, when women are showering.
Look at that shit!
I know, when women are showering in movies, like, they still have, like, full-on makeup. But do you notice that they're never, soapy?
Never.
Yeah.
They're just wet. Like, I'm just gonna stand in this
Yeah.
fucking water and not actually wash my body.
No one lathers in the movies.
No, why doesn't anyone lather in movies?
I don't understand.
Why?
Oh.
There's a little psycho action happening there.
Y'all, you know, it's normal for me to come over to your house,
Yeah.
Morgan, and just, like...
Jump at me. while
jump
I'm
at you
in
while you're in
shower.
the shower. That's
Completely.
normal. So this movie was filmed in England, and most of the actors are actually British, but they're using American accents.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just speak in British accents?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was just marketed, I guess, for America.
Yeah, I suppose, or just maybe the idea of, like, you know, like the American, like, high school kind of, like, experience.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a thing, I think, than it is in England.
Yeah, well, I guess, like, because this came out in 86, so that was pretty much, like, right at the middle of the peak of, like, 80s horror,
Yeah.
I suppose. So it was probably, like, of American 80s horror, because I think, like, Halloween came out 78, and then Friday the 13th came out in, like, 80, and then I think Nightmare on Elm Street was, like, 84, so
Yeah.
they were probably just, like, trying to jump on the American 80s horror bandwagon.
You just named a bunch of good slasher movies.
Yeah.
I sure did, because I happen to love slasher movies. That's slasher movies and creature features are my favorites, definitely, for sure.
What else do we have, though? Slasher movies, creature features.
Ghosts, demons,
Yes.
Aliens.
Yes.
witches, warlocks.
Witches and warlocks.
Remember that movie Warlock?
Yeah.
That movie's so
Oh my
bad. Like, he's like a warlock, but he has a fucking, like, white ponytail.
Yeah. That actor is super creepy.
I know.
I
The
can't
girl...
remember what his name is, but he's super creepy.
The girl in Warlock is also, she's in Hellraiser 3, and she's also in the Seinfeld episode where she thinks that they're gay. They're like, not that there's anything wrong with that.
George and Jerry. Yeah, it's a good one.
Me and Megan are huge Seinfeld fans, by the way.
Yes.
Julian Sands.
Julian Sands is
Yeah.
Warlock. I like
He looks like a Julian.
I know, he looks like a warlock. I like how he doesn't even have, like, a name in the movie. It's
He's
just
just
Warlock.
Warlock.
Have you ever seen it, Megan?
Warlock? Oh, fuck yes.
I used to
dear
have it on
God.
DVD, but
It's
I think I
rotten.
rotten.
sold it because I was just like, this is just too awful to
Yeah.
just watch a
Like,
second
the
time.
cover
Yeah.
is pretty epic though. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it has an indelible mark in my mind.
yes.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll give it another shot. I'll give Home Ec another shot.
yeah.
That cover is so 90s.
It is very 90s.
Yeah.
It came out in 89, but I
It's so
I think
90s.
it was released in 91, but it was made in 81.
Ah.
So, but yeah, it is a very 90s movie. It's a lot like, it kind of reminds me of Wishmaster, except not as good, because
Oh.
Wishmaster is pretty fucking awesome.
We just rewatched
yeah,
that.
me and Megan
Ooh.
just rewatched it. Seriously, the gore in that movie is fantastic. The whole first 10 minutes of that movie is total carnage because it's just an entire race of people just being brutally murdered, tortured. It's a great movie. The worst thing about Wishmaster is that fucking actress, the main girl, the main blonde girl. She's the worst.
I don't
Why?
understand a lot of the casting in
I can't
some horror
believe
movies.
I can't believe how bad that fucking girl is in Wishmaster. Like,
Does she show her boobs?
no. So
Oh.
what the fuck,
'Cause I was
man?
gonna
It's
say,
bullshit.
like, maybe that might have something to do with it, like willingness to.
Yeah. No,
nudity.
she was awful. Her name was Tammy Lauren. She was so fucking awful in it. There was one part where at the towards like the end of the movie where she gets all mad at him and she was like, "You son of a bitch!" Come on.
You son of a bitch. So we're still waiting for a murder. I don't know how long into the movie we are.
Well, actually, in my research for this movie, the body count is very low for this movie.
Yeah, like, I feel like this guy's
Great.
been driving in his shitty, like, bug for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, so the body count for Slaughter High is only 2.
Shut the fuck up.
2
They
bodies.
called it Slaughter High? Slaughter?
Only 2
That's-
people
I wouldn't say
die
that's
in
a
this
slaughter.
movie.
Okay,
I
so
know.
while we're waiting, do we want to start? Because we usually go through our list and it takes us a while. So do we want to start going through our slaughter movie
Sure.
list? Because, I mean, we got time to kill here.
Sure, absolutely.
Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Garbage day. I pretty much like only watched like Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 for just that scene.
It's one of the greatest.
I have the t-shirt from Fright Rags. Like, it's such a fucking an amazing scene.
Is that on your list?
No.
No.
No, well, you go first.
Okay, so, you know, I feel like these lists might be a little bit predictable. But whatever.
That's okay.
That's okay. So I have Maniac, we already discussed, the original and the remake.
Mm-hmm.
The kills in that are unbelievable. Like, I love that he's a psycho in it, and, you know.
Well, doesn't he, and he just cuts scalps.
Yeah,
right?
mommy
like,
issues.
Yeah.
He collects
super
scalps.
creepy.
Like,
Super-
that's
yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah, and he has, like, a room full of them. It's brilliant.
And doesn't it, like, because you know how, like, the cover of the original film is just, like, his legs
Yes.
holding... Didn't they
Yes.
just redo
And it's beautiful.
that
yeah.
for the remake, too?
Yeah.
That
Which I
was
think
a
is
great
great.
idea. I like that they did that. Like, just to had a different artist just render, like, a new version of that picture.
That image is incredible.
I love that poster for that movie. It's so good.
And I know I already talked about the cinematography in that movie, and I won't dwell on it, but there's so many shots of just, in both films, of just his eyes, because both actors do such a great job of portraying their craziness just through their eyes, so everything else is blacked out, and anyways, so great. So I'm going to move on. Scream. Come on.
I love Scream.
Scream.
I love it. I'm
not a fan of, 2, 3, 4, 5, a million, whatever.
No, me
but
neither.
Scream.
Actually, I fucking hated the new one that came out. Like, the one that was, just came out recently. I think it was part 4.
Shut up. Another one came out?
Yeah, remember, like, they revisited, like, it came back. Like, it just came out a few years ago.
Oh.
I hated it. I hated it so much. I'm not a fan of the sequels as well. They just don't have the same feeling.
Yeah.
I saw the first Scream in theaters.
Oh,
I will
nice.
never fucking forget that moment. Like, I was so impressed. I was just like, yes, this movie was great. I
Wes
loved
Craven.
it. Yes, I loved it. It's
Wes
such
Craven.
a fucking good movie. And Rose McGowan before she
McGowan.
got all fucking weird looking.
Oh, she was so hot in that movie.
She used to be so hot.
And her
What
death
happened to
was the
her?
best in the garage door.
I know,
Come on. I
yeah.
mean, unrealistic, but
Yeah,
come on.
but let's just comment on her outfits in that movie though. They're
Mini
terrible.
skirts.
Like, do you
Mini
remember
skirts.
like the what she was wearing when she got killed by the garage
course I
door?
do.
It was like a lime green sweater and like a weird fucking psychedelic like fucking
Mini skirt.
like mini skirt that had like all these orange colors.
Oh.
Like
That
the
is
90s.
so 90s.
I know, it was so 90s.
So
So
90s.
clueless.
But seriously though, Rose McGowan, she used to be so hot. Like, what the fuck happened to her? I know she got in a car accident and she got some plastic surgery, but she shaved her head recently, and I will have to admit that she came out with like an album recently,
Yes.
and that video,
The video was
that
so
she came out
creepy.
with,
Check
that
'em
fucking
out,
video
check
was
'em out.
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that video was so creepy and amazing.
Yeah.
But still, like, I don't know. I used to think she was really hot when I was a teenager. I was like obsessed with her because of Doom Generation. That's like Greg Araki is one of my favorite directors, and Doom Generation is like one of my like all time like favorite fucking movies. But I was actually her for Halloween one year,
Nice.
and I went to Fan Expo in Toronto one year, and I attended her Q&A, and there's like a infamous line from the Doom Generation where she says "eat my fuck," and I asked her to say it.
That's
And it was funny because like it was all these other little like Charmed fans.
Oh,
That were
really?
like asking her a bunch of questions about Charmed, and then finally like they picked me to ask the question, and I was like, I'm a big fan of Doom Generation. Can I have you say "eat my fuck"? And she was like, eat my fuck. And I was like, yes. And then
Thank you.
later that day, I left and I was like driving downtown and I saw her walking down the street and I was like, holy shit, it's Rose McGowan. I used to love her so much. But either way.
She looks a little strange.
She kind of looks like her character from Conan. Remember the Conan remake?
I didn't even see
Was it the Conan remake?
I didn't even see that shit. No fucking way I saw that. No way.
No.
No way.
You don't mess with perfection.
No, I'm not seeing
Hello?
that shit.
Yeah, she was some weird witch lady in the Conan remake,
yeah, of course she
and
was.
that's what she looks like in real life now.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. You should look it up.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it.
So we're gonna move from one Wes Craven to the next. My all-time favorite, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
Slashers.
so good.
Come on. The original is just so flawless. I don't even know where to start.
I know.
Like I don't even know where to fucking start
It's
with that movie.
It's so good.
It's a perfect film. Honestly, I think it's perfectly filmed. The scripts are perfect. It's not
agree.
corny. It's actually scary. And I know you're a big fan of the Jason movies, Yasmina, but there's no dialogue in those movies. They're all kills, which are great. But I just love the original. Like the dialogue is great, and Heather Langenkamp is like crazy good.
Honestly,
Like,
yeah,
crazy
the first
good in that movie.
Nightmare on Elm Street, for its time, even when I watched it when I was a kid in the 90s, like if you are under the age of like whatever 18, like it fucks with your sleep. Like you
It's
can't
still
sleep
horrifying.
when the first time you watch that movie. Like,
How
at
did they do that body
youthful
bag
age.
scene? I could look it up. No one spoil it for me and post how they did it. I don't want to know. But Tina's in the body bag and her feet lift up and you don't know how, and
Yeah.
she gets dressed and there's that stream of
That was
blood.
amazing.
Come
I
on.
love that scene, and also when she when it's open and she's like when Nancy's dreaming.
Oh my God.
In the classroom and the slugs that are like coming out of her mouth and shit. Oh my God, it's so fucking good. I know one of me and Morgan's favorite parts about that movie is when Freddy is like his arms when they like
Yes, and then he
elongate.
runs,
when
like,
he's
all
like
goofy.
when he's
Running.
chasing her like down like the
Yeah.
alleyway.
Oh,
Like it
man.
just looks so ridiculous.
I like
these,
the
long
arms. I think it's funny when he runs. He starts like
I
running
know,
after like
yeah.
His giant snake arms. I wish that this was a video podcast so that you could see us. Like everybody,
We're all
we're all
doing
Yeah, I
flailing,
know.
We're all doing it.
drunk and flailing.
Yeah, no,
it's
the
Every
first,
kill in that movie's amazing.
I know
Every
that
single kill.
that
The mom
we've
at
talked-
the end being sucked through the window.
Yeah,
Like, bleh.
but like we've talked about the Johnny Depp death before. It's just you could just keep bringing
It's
it
like
up.
a river,
It's so
a river
good.
of blood.
It's amazing. It's so fucking
Geysers.
good.
But there's so much more to that movie than the kills. The mom was an alcoholic avoiding her daughter, ignoring her daughter, and having men over. Like, her dad was kind of nor here nor there. Like, it was just, there's so much depth in that movie, and it's just so fucking brilliant.
we watched the
Watch the documentary about it.
the
if you haven't
4-hour
watched
long
it.
Did you
documentary.
guys
on-
did it?
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
so
it
good.
was so fucking good. It was amazing. I love the like even like in New Nightmare how they explain how they did the scene where she's like crawling on the ceiling.
Skin the cat.
Yeah, and they basically
Yeah.
like made the room, but the room was like able to rotate, and the camera sat in the chair that was like attached to the like
really?
floor of the room. So then when it rotated, the camera followed the rotation. So that's how
Wow.
they did that scene.
That's
yeah.
pretty intricate. Like that's a big
I know.
set
And
kinda-
actually, I'm pretty sure somebody got injured. I remember that from
In
the
the rotating
documentary when
room?
they were doing
Wouldn't be
that.
so-
when they
oh
were
no,
filming
she
it.
had to stop it because she was freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were freaking out.
It's a great
during that
documentary. You
scene.
should
Yeah.
definitely watch it.
Moving on, My Bloody Valentine, original and the remake. I don't know why I love
I've never
that movie.
seen the
I don't know
remake.
why
I was actually
love
about
it
to say that.
so
Yeah, I've never seen the
much.
remake.
I do love that
It's
in the
so
original My
good.
Bloody Valentine, when the person is in the dryer.
Oh, come on.
That's so please tell me that they actually put that in the remake.
Oh, dude.
Do they?
I don't remember. But they should.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
no,
sure.
I've never seen the remake.
The
But,
remake, I like
original's
the
good.
remake because it's not as corny as you think it's going to be. The opening scene is when I remembered. It's pretty good.
Is it very similar?
It's very similar. That's what I like about it. Like, it has an
Almost
80s
exactly,
feel. It
yeah.
has an 80s feel to it.
Kind of
you know?
like how what they did with Maniac. Like
Right,
it
exactly.
wasn't.
And they made it 3D, but it didn't take away from
I remember
how
that.
great
Yeah.
it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like a lot of remakes, like they, especially like nowadays, like they just become sort of like sensationalist and over the top, and like they try to outdo. But a lot of times it's like sort of the little subtleties of the original that
simplicity is always can be better, you know?
Yeah, it makes it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be on hopefully all of your lists, and I got to give credit to Yasmina for this one. It should have been near the top of my list. You're next.
Oh my god.
That
if you haven't seen
crazy.
You're Next, please fucking watch it. That movie...
I'm gonna ask you not to spoil some of the kills.
I won't. No, I won't. But honestly, seriously, when that movie came out and I watched it, I'm a big avid fan of older horror movies, especially from the 80s. You know, like the 90s, they had their good ones, which can be kind of bad, but they were better than the 80s. The early 2000s, it was okay. And lately, there has been like a reprise in like the horror genre, but I haven't like before I watched You're Next, I hadn't really seen like a good slasher. And when I saw that movie, I was like, this fucking movie was like the best slasher flick I have fucking seen
that movie
in like
was
20
awesome.
years. It was so
nonstop,
so fucking good. It was brutal.
Yeah, nonstop.
So amazing. And the director, Adam Wingard, also did the VHS movies.
God, I love them.
He also did The Guest. I don't know if you guys have seen The Guest, but The Guest was pretty fucking badass. It's got the main girl from It Follows.
Oh, nice.
In
Oh,
it.
cool.
It's not really... It's kind of more like a suspense thriller.
Right.
But that's another one that actually has an incredible soundtrack as well. But yeah, oh my god.
You're next. I don't want to, like, if I give away anything about any kill, it's just going to ruin the surprise. Like, you have to just watch it. Yasmina told me to watch it. It was one of those movies where, like, I don't know if I've explained to our listeners before, but, like, I love horror movies, but I get really freaked out. Like, I can't watch. I was, like, watching with my hands over my fucking eyes the entire movie, and it was so good. So I'm just going to, like, quickly wrap up my list. With my last one being Urban Legend. Joshua Jackson, whatever. Kind of a corny movie, you know.
Joshua Jackson, whatever.
I mean, a great film. I loved it. It was so 90s again. I don't even need to talk about it because I'm sure a lot of our listeners have seen it.
We watched
it's really
recently,
campy.
didn't we?
We tried to. I feel like we tried to.
I bought it on VHS.
But we didn't watch the VHS. We tried to look it up on YouTube or something like that, remember?
Yeah. But I did buy the VHS recently, and it's actually like, parts of it were filmed in our city, in London.
Yeah, fucking Western.
Yeah,
Western University.
Urban Legend was filmed at Western University.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Lastly,
I remember
I'm
the
gonna
movie.
say, because I didn't like it, but it's a good slasher, but I fucking didn't like it because I have a really hard time with this genre of movie. The Strangers.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, fuck you.
And
no, it's not.
The second one is coming out this year. They're working on it right now.
Really?
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
it was
That
the
took a while.
end when they're slowly putting the knife into her, or when they're stabbing her husband or boyfriend too, and she's watching it. I just don't do it. It's a great movie, but I will never fucking watch it again, and I will not go see the second one.
I actually remember. Oh, you're going to see it.
Oh, okay.
Because I will. But I actually for the 2000s, like The Strangers was probably one of the best. In
You
my
really
opinion.
liked
Is that the
it,
one
eh?
with Liv
loved it.
Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay, I did
It's
see
so
that one,
creepy.
yeah.
You know, the part that actually creeped me out the most. Okay, when the boyfriend goes to the bar and Liv Tyler is there alone in the house, and like the girl knocks on the door and then she asks for Tamarin or whatever, and then she leaves or whatever, but then like 5 minutes later she comes back and asks the same question.
Oh, that's so freaky.
I thought that was really fucking scary. Like, I was just like, okay, this person, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, okay, this person is obviously deranged. They have problems because they were just here asking the exact same question. If I was in that situation, I'd be like fucking calling 911.
Yeah.
Like, that part was actually terrifying. I thought it was a really great movie. Very, very well done. I'm excited for the new one. I think Brian Bertino was the writer and the director for The Strangers, and he's also doing the second one.
I like when the writer is also the director because they have full control of
That's right.
everything.
Like
and
Cronenberg.
Right? And it
Like our
turns
friend,
out great.
David Cronenberg.
Like
Cronenberging it up.
So that concludes Megan's list of slasher movies. Thank you for listening. Moving on.
My list, well, it's kind of similar, but not really that great. I don't know. I don't get into that much detail. So obviously I have Nightmare on Elm Street. We've talked a lot about that already. Halloween.
Yeah.
Haven't really talked about Halloween.
Halloween is amazing.
Megan, you're shaking your head. Not a big fan?
No, I mean, I like, you know what, the thing I have to say about the Halloween movies, and I love John Carpenter, so I'm not ragging on him at all, but it's filmed in a very dark movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So, wow, yes. So when you're watching
it is really dark.
I always have to turn up the brightness. All you see is his mask, and I don't know if that's what he
but
wanted to happen.
have you seen
but...
the restored Blu-ray though?
No, okay, no.
Perhaps
it
that's
hurts
why.
my eyes. It
Yeah.
hurts my eyes.
No, I
Because
know.
I mean,
They
it
fixed
was
it.
a long time ago. You know, like,
No excuse.
well, I guess not.
No, I'm just kidding.
But-
Great films, but like
yeah,
I said,
they
that's the
are.
reason I didn't like them.
I can understand. I think to me that sort of adds part of the whole like appeal and the whole mystique of everything. You know, like they're sitting in the house and like it's dark and like
Well, it was like
they
the
don't know what's
70s,
happening.
like late 70s, and the budget was only like $300,000.
Yeah,
and
which
like
is
I'm pretty
tiny.
sure
Right.
John Carpenter at the time was in college.
Yeah.
And so most of the people had to like just like fork out their own finances.
Yeah, mind you, it says also that it grossed $47 million at the box office,
yeah,
which
that's
is
true. Yeah,
unheard of.
I know.
And of course, like Michael Myers, like the whole, you know, it's like he's like Jason with Friday the 13th. You know, it's like the mask. Everybody knows, you know, who he is. Like the theme song is
The
like
theme song
one
is
of the
incredible.
best things ever.
I know. And the
So
fact that
creepy.
it's
It's
William
just-
Shatner's
I
fucking
know.
face.
Yeah. Funny.
So amazing. Just a shitty spray painted William
Yeah.
Shatner mask.
I remember, like, when I was a kid, I actually was terrified of Michael Myers. Like, I used to be really fucking scared of him. I'm a big fan of the original Halloween, and especially the part where, this is what I admire the most about Halloween, is the part where she is like walking home from school with her friends, and she sees Michael Myers like
Behind the shrubbery.
the shrubbery, behind that bush there, and then the next scene he's like not there, and her friends are like, I don't see anything, blah blah blah. That scene terrified me, but it is exceptionally incredible that scene took place in the daytime, and it was still terrifying.
Yeah.
Good call.
Like it was so good.
Dun,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the
Dun-dun.
original Halloween.
Dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
dun, 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 dun. I don't know, like a lot of times with movies like that, it's a soundtrack that sticks with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've seen Halloween so many times.
So I just want to point out that
We're still
in
watching the
part-
movie.
Yeah, so we're in the part
Is
of
someone
Slaughter High
finally
where
Oh.
his stomach is opening and his intestines and organs are coming out and blood splattering on the woman's
And that's pretty
face.
gory. I can't complain about that
That
at
was
all.
very good, very well done.
Also, I'd like to say they're drinking Colt 45.
I did see
Billy
that.
D. Williams. Colt 45, motherfucker.
Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, have you ever seen the Colt 45 commercial that he's
No.
done? Look it up. It's
Oh.
amazing.
Damn.
Oh my god, we have so many things to talk about.
The one thing that when I was reading a bunch of reviews on Slaughter High is a lot of people hated the mask, like the jester mask. Like they're like, that's not scary.
For which mask?
For this mask.
Oh.
For Slaughter High.
Well, I think it's pretty creepy.
It's like a jester.
Yeah. It was at the very beginning of the movie. It's pretty creepy. Yeah, like that's super creepy to me.
It's like an old man mask, but with like a jester.
Yeah, with a jester hat, yeah.
Hat piece. Which is a very weird combination.
Yeah.
What do the two have in common
I
with
don't
each
know.
other?
An old man jester.
Crazy
Old
old
man
man jester. Back at it again.
man jester. Oh yeah, well, so yeah, I was sort of like, you know, just chit-chatting about my list. We kind of went over, like, obviously Halloween, Friday the 13th. I know, Yasmina, you will probably elaborate more than I will, but obviously, like, Jason Voorhees fucks shit up in every single movie. Like, great slasher movie. An institution as far as horror is concerned. My honorable mentions, because they're just funny, is New Year's Evil. which I watched recently, and it's just bad, but it's great because
I don't know why, but New Year's Evil always
The
reminds
song,
me.
New Year's Evil. Oh my god, it's the best part. It's
That's
the
awesome.
music. It always gets me.
I don't know why, but like New Year's Evil always reminds me of Happy Birthday to Me.
Yeah.
And I have the VHS of Happy Birthday to Me where it like the front cover, like the cardboard, like you can like open up. Like it has a
that's
flap.
cool.
That's
Like it
very
has
cool.
a flap that can like open up. So I have that copy.
Awesome. So yeah, like I don't know, like I said, New Year's Evil. It's just hilarious. The song is the best part of the movie, but honorable mention to that. So yeah, that's my sad list.
Yasmina!
All right. Well,
She's like,
Here we go.
well, I think the second kill in Slaughter High just happened. So the guy in the car, I think he just got stabbed. It was hard to tell.
See, another one of those dark 80s
Yeah.
scenes,
Well, we
right?
are watching it on YouTube.
True that.
But yeah, the part where the guy's intestines were coming out of his stomach was pretty
that
cool.
was brutal because it looked like it was
Actual
like,
intestines.
real. Yeah, like they must have used some sort of animal product.
Yep. So I guess we're done with the kills in this movie then. We've seen
Yeah,
two.
I know, yeah. But yeah, well, Slaughter High is very infamous for the score, and the composer is actually Henry Manfredini, who is also the composer for the Friday the 13th films.
Nice.
Yeah, and P.S. there's boobs. A woman is taking a bath. That bath water looks disgusting, but boobs.
Boobs
It makes
nonetheless.
up, it makes up for
Period.
it. It makes up for it. Henry Manfredini also did the score for Swamp Thing, the House movies, and also Wishmaster.
Yay!
Yeah, Wishmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a house.
This is also a house.
This is a house as well.
But yeah, so the woman with the tits in the bathtub is now getting burned.
Woman with tits.
So the woman
Get out
with
of the
tits-
bathtub!
Yeah, so she's getting burned in the bathtub. I guess it's like from the boiling water. I have a question. They're in a high school. Why the fuck is there a bathtub in the high school?
That's what I'd like to know.
Did your high school have a fucking bathtub?
I don't remember
a tub.
anything. No,
No.
There were showers.
Yeah.
No one ever used them.
But yeah, since this movie, it is a slasher flick, but it's specifically like a revenge slasher, you know, where like somebody who was unpopular or somebody
Oh,
who
her
did something
face just
horrible.
fucking melted.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, the tit woman, her face melted, and that was actually pretty cool. That was some was that stop animation?
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty amazing.
That was really good. Good job.
Look at this
And the two guys that come into the bathroom to find the dead woman are wearing identical outfits.
Yeah, and the one guy's pants are leather. I'm pretty
Really?
sure.
Oh, it looked like they were
Yeah.
both wearing jeans.
No, yeah.
But I like how they're both wearing flannel.
I like how her skin and muscles she's a skeleton now. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's pretty
She's
cool.
completely
So I
melted
guess
down.
acid came
Yeah,
out?
well, that makes
Maybe
sense,
it was
right?
nitric acid, because the nitric acid was very like foreshadowing.
And
at
that's
the
what
beginning of
killed
the movie.
him, and now the
That's
revenge.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
Those are leather pants.
Yeah, so the one guy's wearing like some
Yeah.
spandex.
Yeah, oh,
there. But yeah, well, since this movie is more considered like, in my opinion, like a revenge slasher movie, like other notable revenge slasher flicks are The Burning. I love The Burning. Have you guys seen it?
Nope.
No, but I
It's
know
a
it's
good
on the
one.
list
It's
of
good.
like
It's
like
good.
watching that we
It's
yeah.
not like a nerd or like a kid that gets made fun of. It's a caretaker. So like the asshole counselors, like they obviously set his cabin on fire, and he gets set on fire, and then he comes back and kills everybody with like the hedge clippers. I do love that Jason Alexander, George Costanza, is in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So
Oh my
it's
God.
it's funny seeing him with hair. And we mentioned Carrie earlier. Another one is Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so the one the prank happens and then he seeks revenge on the train, and David Copperfield is in that movie.
Is he?
Yep.
Okay, Terror Train, is that one is before Halloween?
No,
correct?
it's after.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think
Because I
it
think
was.
I may have seen it.
It's okay. I mean, it's worth watching, you know, a couple times, but it's okay. I mean, Halloween came out in 78.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Terror Train came out in 1980, so it was after, like, she began getting notoriety after Halloween and prom night and everything happened after that. But yeah, Terror Train is okay. It's all right. I think it takes place during New Year's Eve, and there's just like a giant party on a train, which sounds pretty fucking fun to me. Another revenge slasher that comes to mind is The Craft.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I mean, it's not really a slasher,
No.
but it's definitely a revenge kind of thriller. Like, everything bad happens to all the popular kids that made fun of them.
Yep.
Like, when she's, like, losing her hair. And she's like, it just keeps falling out!
So good. So good.
Are they still going forward with the remake?
I don't know.
I heard about it.
But I'm pretty sure they should at least cast all three of us.
Yeah, we should be in that movie.
Hello.
Come on. Definitely The Toxic Avenger.
Yep.
That is another one where, like, it's a nerd that gets picked on, and then he gets all mutated and then seeks revenge, and he looks so cool.
Well, yeah.
He's a great
Yeah.
great looking guy. But definitely the Friday the 13th films are my favorite. Out of all, slasher killers of horror genre, Jason Voorhees has always been my favorite. My favorite, well, the first one that I ever saw was part 7, when it came out when I was a kid. I remember watching it when I was a kid during the day, and I was riding my bike home, like, from my friend's house, and I was like looking behind me for Jason. Like, I was so fucking scared. I just kept on having to, like, look behind my shoulder to make sure, like, Jason wasn't chasing me behind me. I was so fucking scared of him, and years later became obviously obsessed with him. So part 7 and part 4 are definitely my favorites. Part 7, to me, like, sticks out the most because it was the first one that Kane Hodder portrayed Jason. And what he brought to the character was brutality. Whereas, like, the older ones, like, I guess, like, from, like, part 2 to part 6, they were each played by different actors. And so they're each kind of different in their own ways, like, depending on, like, the actor that was playing them. But I think that the way that Kane represented him was menacing. Like, he was angry. Like, you saw the anger in his... like, in his body, in his face, like, when the mask gets torn off by the psychic girl, like, he's, like, full of rage.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what made it more terrifying, in my opinion. But I love part 4 because of Crispin Glover, obviously, my boyfriend. And Corey Feldman, little Tommy Jarvis. And I actually didn't know this, but the new one that came out, like, in, like, 2009 or
Right,
whatever,
yeah.
they actually originally wanted to bring the character of Tommy Jarvis, like,
Really?
back for that
Like Tommy
movie.
and then the fake Tommy and the fake Tommy.
But yeah, they did want to have Tommy like, as a character in that version, but they scraped the idea. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Like, it would have been a really good addition.
If they could write it properly, then yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
that would be
that,
good.
like, the 2009 version was fun.
Yeah.
Like, the kills are pretty fucking cool. I thought it was fun. Like, I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? It was okay. But, definitely, I don't know. I've always been a huge fan of Jason Voorhees, like, just because, like, it always, like, stuck out in my mind, and I was always, like, more terrified of him than, like, Freddy Krueger or, like, Michael Myers. It was just, like, something so, reminiscent of, like, just like a hockey mask, something that I don't give a shit about hockey, but something like a hockey mask, like, terrifying you, like, as a child, like, it definitely sticks out for me. I love the woods. I love the forest, like, just the fact that they take place in camps. When I was a kid growing up, my parents never let me go to summer camp, and I was so pissed about it. Like, I was so jealous of all the other kids that got to go to summer camp and stuff like that. So when I was, like, watching those movies, I always, like, just was jealous. Like, I always just wanted to be at summer camp, like, just to experience that. So I think that's just, like, a definitely something that I've always, felt, like, attached to. Like, that's, like, one of the reasons why I've always, like, loved the Friday the 13th movies. But if any of you out there are collectors of, like, toys and masks and stuff like that, you should definitely, if you haven't heard of them already, the Devil's Latex. So the guy that makes these incredible Jason masks, like among many other incredible masks, like he does like a Pennywise one.
Oh,
he does a
such a
Crypt
good
Keeper, like a Freddy Krueger one. His name is Steve Bellamy, and I've seen his table at Fan Expo, and like every year I'm always like, okay, I need to fucking like save up my money. Like I need to fucking get a Jason mask, and he makes the masks per movie as well. So there's like a Jason mask from like part 3. There's one from part 4. There's one from part 5. There's a Freddy from like New Nightmare. He makes like a Freddy from like part 6.
Because they're all different.
You know, because
yeah,
they are all different.
Yeah.
His work is incredible. If you guys like don't know of it, just look up the Devil's Latex on Instagram. You will be very impressed. And he just posted recently painted Jason masks from part 8. It's one of my least favorite ones, but it's the one from the poster of part 8 when he's in New York.
Dude,
just the colors.
It's your least favorite?
One of my least favorites, yeah.
Because I feel like we just watched that and...
It's okay.
It's campy. I like it.
It's okay. It's just like when he's in New York and he sees there's like an ad for like a hockey mask.
Yeah. And he like
and
looks
he's
at
like,
it.
oh.
But come on, like the redeeming thing of that whole movie is when he punches that dude's head off.
Yeah.
The boxer.
Yeah.
I like that movie because it didn't scare me.
Yeah, it's pretty cheesy.
It's cheesy, but it's like you can watch the kills. Like I can watch the kills and actually watch them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when he pulls his mask up and shows that dude his face, and it's all like
yeah, and like the creepy old guy who's like the professor and fucks the younger girl on the ship. Yeah, and actually like the part where he smushes the girl's face in like in the wall.
Yeah,
was pretty awesome. And
I like that it's shot in like a part of it in Times Square.
Yeah,
so they had to like shoot that in.
I know.
Oh, that's so cool.
It kind of reminds me. It's just funny that there's like all these like franchise movies like that always have one that takes place in a city, you know what I mean? Like Star Trek, the Star Trek movies, The Voyage Home.
Yeah.
That one is so fucking bad. I can't believe how fucking bad that one is, where they're like on a bus and Spock, like there's like those like punk rockers on the bus.
Oh yeah, okay.
And they're just like playing obnoxious music, and Captain Kirk is like, could you please turn that down? And then they just turn it up, and Spock
they do.
It's like Vulcan mind trick like on like the punk rocker. Like, come on. Like every time like there's a movie like franchise where they like have the one where it's like in the city, like it's always so
like
cheesy.
Leprechaun in the Hood
or Leprechaun in space. Leprechaun in space.
Oh no, you know it's really bad when they send them to space.
Jason
I know, like Jason
Hellraiser did. And Jason went to space.
Jason went to space.
And like I'll have to say that the Jason X is pretty bad, but I love the fucking
nitroglycerin?
scene.
Yeah. Is that the right chemical?
No, it's liquid nitrogen.
Yes.
When he puts her fucking head,
the head and then smashes
his head, that fucking scene was genius. Like
so
it was
good.
never done before.
I was just gonna say, there in that documentary that you have, Yasmina. They talk about it in
the Crystal Lake Memories.
The Crystal Lake Memories.
Yeah,
they talk about it.
That's a good one. That's like an 8-hour documentary. It's
amazing.
So long.
But I like that it's long because it doesn't fast forward through shit that you want to know about. It literally touches on everything as a horror fan or a Jason Voorhees fan, whatever that you want to know about. It touches on.
It's for a super fan.
For sure. Yeah. It's great. But yeah. Like I said before, if you are a horror collector of like toys and stuff, like definitely look up the Devil's Latex, based in Toronto. And if you live in the GTA, he's actually going to be at the Niagara Falls Comic Con. He's always at Fan Expo, and he's actually going to be at the Rue Morgue Dark Carnival Expo, which is going to be the first Rue Morgue like horror convention. So
he is fucking the shit out of this girl right now.
Oh, we got a sex scene going on
like
here.
Like a really good one.
Oh, and now they're being electrocuted while they're fucking. That's like some
sextracuted.
Sexecuted.
Look at those titties bounce. Wow. So, like, I know we've been sort of talking a little bit through this movie, but are they still at the high school?
Yeah.
There's beds and shit? And
there's beds and fucking bathtubs.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, this just seems weird. Like I remember my first year of high school, they did, like, the slumber party. Like, you sleep in the gym, and it's fun. It's, like, orientation, and, like, yeah, like, oh, you get to sleep over and meet new people and stuff. But, like, when you're a grown-ass adult, I'm pretty sure if you're doing a reunion, you're not going to want to stay over at your high school.
No.
That just sounds fucked up.
Yaz, do you have more of a list?
Nah.
Nah?
Nah.
I'm going to take this opportunity.
I'm
going to take this opportunity. Oh, well then I'm going to take this opportunity to remind Yasmina of how much she loves the Hatchet films.
I do love the Hatchet films.
Those are slashers.
They are like
and
definitely.
They're not revenge, but you're on his turf.
Actually, technically they are because the mean kids burn Victor Crowley in the house. And it's funny that Kane Hodder plays the dad of young Victor Crowley, and he also plays the older Victor Crowley later on. But yeah, like I know we talked earlier about You're Next, like reprising like the slasher genre, like, and I was so impressed with that. But before that, for sure, like Hatchet. Oh my fucking god, I love the Hatchet movies. Like one of the best things about Hatchet is when Victor fucking grabs the woman's fucking mouth and just tears the upper part of her head back. That was genius.
Incredible.
So fucking good. And like blood just like splattering out of her fucking neck. Oh my god.
And I like the way that her tongue looks. Like
how the tongue is just like flapping around. Oh my god.
Protruding.
Adam Green, you are a genius. I've got a boner for you.
I was going to say, and a cute
Seriously, one. Jesus Christ. That movie was so fucking good.
But again, with those movies, like, I've said it a million times in this episode alone and in previous episodes a million times because I want people to know that I'm a huge pussy and I can watch Hatchet because it makes me fucking laugh.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about Hatchet is Adam Green brings back characters. So I don't know if he's Asian or what, you know that character, like he brings him back in, like he has these characters, he likes the actors, he likes the actresses, so he'll bring them back to play different roles in different movies. And I like that. And I like that they're funny because I don't cry myself to sleep at night.
Aww.
Yeah, and he's got obviously Kane Hodder and Tony Todd.
Right? Yeah,
in the Hatchet movies.
So
and
good.
Danielle Harris. She's in the sequels. Like I'm not sure why like the main girl was played by a different actress in the first one. So, I don't know, maybe the other girl just didn't want to do it or something.
Or maybe he wanted her to do it, because he's obviously got a boner for her, because that brings us back to Holliston, right? Like, he brings Tony Todd back and all that shit. So, like, I just like when directors or writers or any sort of filmmakers really like an actor and just incorporate them in everything that they do. I think that's great.
I know. I love that Holliston is a show, like a thing. Like it's so good. It's just like it's such a good show for horror fans,
horror fans
who want to laugh.
Yeah,
it's hilarious, and they're actually shooting the third season because it was on hold for a long time because Odorous Orungus was the character in it, and so since Dave Rocky passed away, they weren't sure if they were going to continue with it, but they are now. So I'm not really sure what the premise is going to be, but the second season ended on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger, so something's got to happen. But I wonder what they're going to do with the Odorous character.
Yeah, like I wonder
just
if he's
gonna
like
with like another monster,
or I was gonna say, or like kill him off entirely, or
maybe just have like another monster that lives in his closet.
Right.
That'd be cool if it was like a fucked up clown.
No, it wouldn't.
A fucked up clown.
No, it wouldn't.
That's funny.
I know we've had people on comment on the Witchfinger Facebook or website saying that they would like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
That's a fucking hilarious movie.
And I've only seen clips of it.
I can't believe it. Megan's never seen the whole movie.
That was one of the movies that, like, Mercedes and I begged my parents to see when we were kids. We were like, can we please rent this? Just because, like, clowns, like, they're so
it's so
rubbery
ridiculous
and creepy. It's
and
outrageous.
I've definitely seen clips, and they look hilarious. But I love that it reminds me of, and I don't know why, don't fucking ask me, but it reminds me of Critters. Like, it's got that, like...
I can see that.
I don't know why. It's got that, like, oh, that's a weird character.
Yeah.
Like, they're clowns, but that's a weird fucking character.
Totally. Like, campy and kind of weird and, like...
silly
like,
as
it's
fuck,
it's super silly. It's not...
like,
it's not scary.
Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Attack of the
That's
Killer
a great
Tomatoes.
one.
Yeah.
Well, the main chick from Killer Clowns of Outer Space... Her name is Suzanne Snyder, and she's also in Night of the Creeps.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good one. That's a great movie.
Yeah, that's
Which I was trying to find
really
on
good
YouTube,
movie.
and then they just don't have it on YouTube.
And she's also in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. She's the sister.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is she the one with the spicy brains?
Your brains is
so
spicy.
That part really fucked me up when I was a kid.
I know.
I don't
it
know
did.
why. Like, I
It's
remember
so
watching it
spicy.
at my cousin's house and being like, wow, like, that just, like, it just messed with my mind.
This movie seems like it's going on forever.
Oh.
Well, that seems
Yeah.
like it's more than kill number.
Yeah, I think we're on like kill 5.
That's
here.
kill 3 at least.
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
don't
where
know.
did
Like,
this
it's
body
been
count? Where did you see
on
the body count?
IMDb?
Whoever,
they need to get
that
their shit
source.
together.
That's
Yeah.
3 already. So bathtub lady, the guy who got chopped by like the saw, the 2 people that just got electrocuted, and then this guy that's hanging.
And the guts.
yeah,
IMDb is
that's
wrong.
like 7, 6. Oh no, wait, I think he might live. The guy that was
The guy that
being
was just
hung.
being hung.
Okay, well, she's gotta die, because she's the one who started it all. So the slut who lured him into the bathroom for the prank to begin with, the 32-year-old playing the 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I wanted to actually bring something up that someone, a friend of mine, had brought to my attention. We were discussing Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff. So I don't know if you guys know this. You might want to look it up. But apparently there is an Indian Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff.
Oh my
No,
god.
we need to watch it.
We need to watch that.
It's called Mahakal. Look it up. It's Mahakaal. And I do have an article about it. Just sort of going over some of the elements that they've stolen. But it is like an Indian movie, and I think it might be recent. It looks pretty outrageous.
All those like Indian versions
Brilliant.
of movies are hilarious. Like especially the just the video for Thriller, like the Indian version
Oh,
of
yeah.
Thriller.
shit.
Like,
oh my god.
So
It's
there's
so
screen
funny.
caps here that like you can see the Freddy mask or the Freddy glove. You can see the Freddy glove and like look at it. Like it looks like this Indian movie. It's like they've completely ripped it off. So basically this article just talks about like, oh, like you live in the United States, you're trapped in a bubble. Like they do all kinds of weird stuff like Turkish Star Wars or Turkish
Yeah.
E.T. and all this stuff. So they've taken, it's a low budget Indian rendition of Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like how,
basically.
just in this image that I'm looking at right here of the Indian Nightmare on Elm Street, the girl, which I'm assuming is the Nancy character, is wearing like a blue big shirt, which is just what the cover of the movie is what she's wearing in the original, but in the whole like in the movie, she's not wearing that.
No.
She doesn't wear that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Indian Thriller, it's I think it's called Girly Man. If you just like YouTube like Indian Thriller Girly Man, it'll come up and it's pretty amazing. Lots of dry humping.
Oh my god.
At this point, we're all pretty much just waiting for the climax of the film or something.
Well, this blonde girl just fell into
Is it a tar pit?
like
What is this?
I'm not sure. Is this like an empty pool filled with mud? She seems to be drowning. And she's holding onto a pipe.
Don't you know how to tread water?
Yeah.
It looks like a steam, some sort of steam pipe. Maybe it's like a waste
Use your core.
sanitation.
Use your
core.
biceps.
Step on her face. Yes!
Back into the hole for you.
That's what
it
you got,
puts
bitch.
the lotion on its skin.
I'd fuck me. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Her death has got to be the best. We're still waiting for the bitch to die.
Carol.
Oh, even the janitor's dead.
He's the one who
The
had his
body
back.
count is like so high in this movie.
I mean, did you think that if this high school was having a reunion, they'd fix the place up a bit?
Yeah. Well, but
I guess Marty, like there isn't actually a reunion. He just like sent them invites to a fake reunion.
Yeah.
So there isn't actually a reunion
call.
happening.
But yeah, like it
You would
doesn't
think
even
that when
look
you
like
show
it's
up,
not
though.
even working. Like the
I
high
know.
school has been abandoned. It looks like,
I mean, it just
and people
just
are
leave.
fucking in the beds and stuff, and it's been abandoned for like 20 years.
Yeah, I know. You would think when you'd show up and there was like no actual party, like no bar, no DJ, you'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, this must be this must be a prank.
Exactly. And if it's like an abandoned building, I'm pretty sure the toilet's not going to work.
Yeah.
Why was the tub working? Why was that girl taking a bath in a tub
I was
in
just
an
thinking
abandoned
that.
building?
I was just thinking that.
Like, why? It just looks...
Well, I'm
Why?
at my high school reunion, but I feel kind of dirty, so I'm just gonna go take a bath right now, and then I'll come back to the party later. The
music is... Oh my god.
Wow, you guys.
It's obviously,
It's
Henry
fucking
Manfred
amazing.
Needs.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god, she
Oh,
had
so
her
she-
period. That's like really heavy flow, guys.
You should just flush the toilet, and blood is coming out. And now it's all foaming out of the toilet, and she's freaking out. Just get out of the stall.
My flow is like really heavy.
I have a wide set vagina.
All over her nice white one piece.
I know. Just leave. Just go out the front door.
See, again, this is what we were discussing before when we were talking about Spookies when we were watching that movie. When there's you're presented with this situation where a bunch of people end up in some sort of horrible abandoned house or institution, and there's like a murderer coming after you. Why don't you just walk out the fucking front door?
Yeah, just
Why
like
don't
run.
you just leave?
Just run and keep running. Like, don't look back.
Yeah,
Then we'd have nothing to talk about.
That's true.
it is
Touche,
true.
Megan.
There are
Touche.
Megan.
Well, this actually, like, I read every review on Amazon, and like 80% of them were actually really good. But I did find one that is a bad review,
The
and
gold
I
of
have
all
to fucking
golds.
read it to you guys. It is pretty funny. So this review was written by a man named James Oblivion back in 2002, and he gave it 1 star, and the title is Where to Begin.
Oh god.
So, did someone say this movie was worth $80? Because I'm
What?
assuming the VHS is very rare, because you know how like the movie was originally called April Fool's Day?
Right.
It was actually released on VHS under that title only in Japan.
Right.
So I think that release
Oh,
is
yeah.
Okay.
$80.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so this guy wrote, James Oblivion wrote, did someone say this movie was worth $80? Well, having seen it once, I found it for sale for $3 at my local video store. And honestly, $3 was kind of high to go for this title. And I only bought it for kicks. This film is truly not fit for human consumption.
Come on.
I can understand that sometimes a director can make a bad movie, but to think that it took 3 directors to craft this piece of cinematic excrement is astounding.
Wow.
Let us examine this film a bit more closely so that you can see what I mean without actually having to subject yourself to living hell that is watching Slaughter High. The production values are particularly bad. In one outdoor scene, it's so dark that what you're essentially looking at is a black screen with a bit of barely discernible movement on it. It is difficult to impossible to get even a vague idea of what is happening. So, like we talked earlier about how Halloween was super, super dark, but they obviously fixed it in the restored Blu-ray version. This movie is pretty dark. Like, I can
It is.
agree with that.
I can agree with that, but he's talking about one scene. Like, get over it.
Yeah, I know. Get
Fuck,
over
it's
it.
one scene, buddy.
Fortunately for the directors, this poses little problem because by that point in the movie, you really don't care what's happening. In fact, by this point in the movie, you've probably already taken it out of your VCR and decided to watch The Lost Boys for the 40,000th time, and wisely so. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I was
Honestly,
actually gonna say.
I have seen The Lost Boys
Yep.
100 times, and I will never fucking get sick of watching that
Eating
movie.
maggots, Michael.
And obviously the fucking saxophone player. Guy
Oh,
Hawkins.
shit.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
there's a
God.
loop on
Shit.
YouTube somewhere that we should just pull up and just watch for
Do
the
2
rest.
hours of that.
Ugh, yes.
Yeah, and I think Tim Capello is his name. He
Yeah.
actually played sax for Tina Turner.
Oh, well, fuck.
Well-known fact.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to finish the last paragraph of this guy's review. The bottom line is that this movie is just bad. Not even bad in a fun way. More like bad in an excruciating, dear God, why won't it end kind of way. My advice is to see Terror Train instead. It's the same basic premise, though it was made several years before this garbage. Finally, there's the ending. I won't spoil it for you just in case you're actually masochistic enough to want to see this movie.
Wow.
I'll just say that the ending is just as bad as, if not worse, than the rest of the film. Anyway, the 1 star that I'm giving this movie is there for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, gore.
Nice.
Reason number 2, there's no 0-star option.
Wow.
Now I can't wait to see the ending.
Why does he hate this movie so much?
It definitely made an impact
It's
on
not
him.
that bad.
We've watched worse.
I was gonna say
and
we've
haven't-
only been doing this podcast for 5 episodes.
And we've watched worse. I mean, I have to say that the Uninvited.
Oh, that was way worse. And
Yeah.
there was a
Much
man in
worse.
there that won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the ending then. If he says it's really bad, let's see it. Bring it out.
They
Bring
probably
it out.
unmask him and reveal that it's not even the guy, not even Marty. It's gonna be some other fucking person.
Marty McFly.
Yes. I wish
Yes.
I wish
Yeah.
it was Marty McFly. That would be way
Bash
better.
him on the head.
So why is she so smart and everybody else is so dumb?
Because
Everybody else is
fucking
horny and
having
shit
a
and
bath.
fucking, yeah.
Well, those are the rules. If you're
If you're
not a
then you're
virgin,
dead.
then you're gonna die.
Oh, she just killed her boyfriend.
she just axed the
Or
wrong
someone.
guy.
You get a pitchfork to the back. You're fucking.
You got a hatchet in the face.
And that brings us back to The Strangers. I hated that scene where they shot with the shotgun their friend who came
Yeah.
to the fucking house. I hate that
And
shit.
that actually was very reminiscent of the original Night of the Living Dead, where at the very end of the movie he gets shot.
Yes!
And they mistake him for the zombie.
Oh, I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Disturbs me.
I just recently watched the documentary on Netflix about Night of the Living Dead. It's pretty interesting.
It's a good one, actually.
It's a
It's
very,
very
very
good.
good documentary because at the time, when it was released, there was a lot of political movements happening at the time, and casting like a black guy as like the main hero was a very, very bold move on their part. So they had a lot of criticism for that.
Okay, I just want to point out, so she pushed the jester guy through the window and then tried to drop a javelin on him and missed. And it just went like ting-ting-ting beside him.
Useless.
And then he picked it up and now he's going to skewer her with it. He's running with a javelin.
I like how her outfit, it's like a one-piece kind of outfit, but it's got bellows or some shit
Yeah,
on
wings.
the on the shoulders and on the thighs. So when she
Wings.
runs, she looks like an angel.
Yeah. Yeah, especially through these hall scenes where he's chasing her with a fucking javelin.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a fucking 80s pantsuit right there.
Oh yeah.
Look
You
at
That's like
that.
hammer pants.
idiot.
Oh,
And again, the classic move, she hides in a room with only one fucking
Actually,
exit.
she's hiding, isn't she?
In the stall where
she's
it
hiding
started
in
it
the
all.
shower
Yeah.
stall where they pranked him.
But all I'm saying is it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously
Why would
he's
you
gonna
corner
fucking
yourself?
find you in there.
I'm pretty sure that window pane was actually already smashed out in the beginning. And he takes off his mask.
No, it is him.
And it is him.
And he's all disfigured.
Oh, give it to her slowly.
Oh, yeah, javelin that ass.
Super slow.
Oh,
Oh,
right
wow.
between the tits.
And she got stabbed, and
Oh, I
now
guess
she's,
it's kind of in her abdomen.
she's in the shower. She
You
got
know, I'm
stabbed
actually
with a
kind of
javelin.
surprised that he got her, because usually the heroine
Yeah.
survives.
Well, that's nice. I like that. I can appreciate that kind of movie. April fucking Fools.
Someone's
here
whistling
we
in the
go,
hall.
here we
Someone's
go.
still alive. Well, I think he might just be hearing voices.
Yeah.
You know what his character actually kind of reminds me of? The character from
976 Evil.
the character from 976 Evil, because he was kind of like the nerdy weirdo kid, and like Stephen Jeffries' character, and he plays like Hoax in 976 Evil, and then he goes all like demonic, and like his face is all disfigured, and he's like like all evil and shit. That's who this Marty guy reminds me of. So he just walked into a room and there's a fog machine.
Oh my god. This is the
And,
ending this guy was talking about.
So, like, all the characters that he killed, I'm assuming, are now haunting him as the undead.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're all coming up.
This
out of
just
the
looks
fog.
like the beginning of, like, Thriller.
Da-da. Smoke this, Marty.
These ghosts are very poorly done.
Oh wow, look at the hair.
Oh my god, the woman
Army of
zombie.
Darkness!
Yeah, her hair is incredible.
It's too big. It's much too big.
This is actually kind of reminding me of Hard Rock Zombies.
Yeah, the zombies are just rotten. Actually,
They're
Hard
not
Rock
kind of
Zombies,
just like that.
we should totally
Do Hard
add
Rock
that
Zombies.
to
Oh my
the
god, that
list.
movie is incredible.
Okay, so the movie isn't completely done, but I have to agree with this guy's review in that this is the worst ending I think I've seen in a good way. It's a worst ending in a good way, but I think it would have been better if he had just killed the bitch and
got his
Walk
revenge,
away.
and that was
right,
it.
because these cheesy ghosts, like, ay.
But they got what they deserved. Like, why are they coming back to torment him again?
Wait, it was all a dream.
He just woke up in his bed in the hospital.
It was
Ooh.
all a
All
dream.
wrapped up in
I
bandage,
used to
like
read
Dark
Word
Man.
Up Magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Okay, you know what? Now I like the ending again. Now I think that's cool.
Yeah, this
I think
is
that's
complete
cool.
redemption.
It was all in his head.
It was all in his head. That's cool. That's very cool.
Well, yeah, because you know what? If you just were disfigured by your classmates,
Yeah, I spoke too
you
soon.
probably would be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna dream about some revenge.
I just want to say that, like, I love that, like, when they show a scene in a movie where they're in, like, a mental asylum, they always have to have, like, one random crazy dude,
Yeah.
like, walking,
Mowing
like, all,
around.
like
All slow
ridiculous,
and
like, all
weird.
slow and all, like, who the fuck let that guy out?
I know, look at these people. They're all like scuttling about.
They're always wearing bathrobes, too. Like, what's with crazy people wearing
I
bathrobes?
don't know. I'd be in my bathrobe all the time if I was crazy.
Yeah.
What? No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Marty's
Never
pretending
mind.
to be the nurse.
That's bad.
They just
Oh, and he just
yeah,
stabbed
no.
the doctor in the eyeball
no.
with a fucking needle.
No.
Okay, yeah.
That would hurt.
That
Yeah,
was
this
such...
role reversal again.
That
Like,
was a
with
flip-flop.
him becoming the
Flippity
nurse.
floppity.
Electric
Oh, he's
guitar.
looking at the
No.
Now
the,
what's he gonna rip
the
his
camera.
face off? What is
Or is
happening?
he gonna give the finger?
What, he's just like gonna remove his like burned skin?
Okay, I'm confused.
I don't think burned skin just like rips off like that. It's not
It
like the craft
could.
where you just like cast a spell and you're like
Manon,
your
take my
Manon,
scars,
take
take
your
my
scars,
scars.
take your
Oh
scars.
scars.
shit! What a pity party that was.
Take my scar.
Okay, the ending would have been good had they just left it that he was in bed and it was all in his head. End it.
Absolutely, I
End it.
completely agree with that. That was worth 0 stars on Amazon, or 1 star. Yeah, I mean, the movie was good, but, like, the ending, yeah, like, I don't know what they were trying to do.
I thought it was actually kind of like up until maybe the bathtub scene, like it was kind of slow.
The last 20 minutes, yeah. They were good. 30 minutes maybe, but, like, in between that, it was just like, oh, we're in an abandoned building, and we're partying, and look at us, we're fucking, and nothing is happening, really.
Sexecution.
Yeah,
Sexecution.
Sexecution!
Lord
Getting
Jesus.
sexecuted.
Sexecution.
Oh my god.
Gonna execute you.
So Slaughter High was good.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was no
No mystics in Bali, but
It was an
Yeah.
hour and 30 minutes long, and it didn't have to be.
No, you're
I
right.
gotta say
I know.
that.
they
it
probably
seemed
could
a
have
little
shaved some time
long.
off that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we do have some other things that we should be talking about.
Yeah, well, me and Morgan recently watched Baskin.
Yes, it was
We're not gonna like go into detail because Megan hasn't seen it yet. And for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, it's definitely worth a watch for sure.
absolutely. I thought that there was a lot of great story build up, and I don't know. It's hard to like talk about it without really
Going
like,
into detail.
getting into detail about a lot of the specifics of it.
Well, I liked it. I thought it was raw and gross, but it's just the way that it was marketed. Like maybe in North America, like it was marketed as like the tagline was like the cops like investigate a call and then they stumble upon like the doorway to hell, right? So I assumed
Monsters.
that yeah, like I assumed that it had a supernatural element in it, but then when we were watching it and then I realized that there was no supernatural element in it, I was just like kind of disappointed. But it's not the movie's fault. I guess it was just the way that it was marketed, but it was still pretty gruesome. And I loved the idea of it. I actually find it hilarious. It reminded me a lot of High Tension when it came to the gore and like extreme factors, but I didn't really I expected more, I guess. Like I thought that there would be more of like an actual like supernatural entity to it, but it wasn't. It was just a bunch of crazy fucked up people.
Yeah, it had a lot more of like cult or occult sort of themes to it, and I was expecting a bit more of a twist.
I think that it could have been better.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that. Like, I will say that I think it could have been better. It was still brilliant. It was still, like, visually stunning. And the gore, I appreciate gore. Like, the more fucked up it is, the more I like it.
And it was really fucked up.
But there was a lot of
scenes that were, like, super fucked up.
Yeah, and it was like, to me, it's like, yes, like, I love it when shit like that happens.
Like, people covered in shit.
Yeah.
We'll say
actual excrement.
Like, actual shit, Megan.
Yeah.
Actual shit.
But the, there was a couple things about it that, were unexplained, and it drove me insane.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you had mentioned, Yasmina, that the movie was, like, it was, like, first-time director, like, first time kind of foray into like the horror world, and it definitely felt like that, but I think it sort of signifies that it's a like someone who's really promising.
Yeah, Ken Evernall was the director and one of the writers, and he did a great job. Like it was really good. It was very well made. But yeah, like I said before, it was just like the way that it was marketed. Like I expected it to be like actually more satanic. Like I thought it was gonna be like he actually found like the portal,
like
and,
actual
like, the
hell.
door
You were expecting
to hell.
Satan.
Yeah, like I was expecting actual like demons and like Satan. You know what I mean? But it was just people. It was just
hell on earth.
Fucked up
Not
people.
hell. Not actual hell.
Yeah, maybe though. Like obviously he's going to be known for this now, and the next movie that he makes, like maybe he'll probably have like a much more increased like budget, so
for sure
maybe he'll be able to like produce something that is actually worthy of a higher budget. But
for sure
it was good. It was definitely worth the watch. I liked the whole psychological aspect to it too, because it had those elements
for
in
sure.
it as well.
Yeah, there was like the first, I would say almost like, well, the first half of the movie, like, is really just, like, sort of the build-up to, like, the crazy shit that happens, really. A satanic crescendo.
Satanos. Well,
Dominus!
Okay, well, we're just about to wrap up tonight's episode. Thanks a lot for listening. We really appreciate it. We love doing this. Our next episode is going to be a special episode, actually. Ooh. And it's our first episode where we're going to be having special guests.
Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Extra
Brace
special.
yourselves.
Special guest.
Yo, shit.
So next week, we are having our friends Jake and James join us on the podcast. They are the organizers of Shockstock, which is a horror convention in our town of London, Ontario. Yay!
Yay!
This will be a fun episode.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Shockstock is always so much fun.
May 27th, I believe.
May 27th.
May 27th.
Yeah, the 27th,
Come
28th,
on down.
and 29th. If you're in the GTA area, Michigan, do not miss it. Honestly, I've been going to Shockstock every single year. Megan has actually been a handler, working it every single year. I actually had my own table there one year. I love it. Every year gets better and better. What year is it now? Is it the 5th?
Yep.
Okay, it's seriously, guys, like, you gotta fucking come down
Gotta be
to
there.
London. You gotta come to Shockstock. It's amazing. It's just, it's incredible. Like, every year is just getting better and better, and this year, I'm so fucking stoked for the guests that they have this year. There's so many good ones. Like, for example, Danny Hicks, Jake from Evil Dead 2, Baba Joe! Baba Joe! I'm pretty fucking excited. I mean, we all are.
Oh my
but
God.
Kevin Van Hentenryck, fucking the man from the Basket Case movies. Oh, that's gonna be incredible. I really just want him to just have a basket.
I know,
with
a
him.
basket full of donuts.
Yeah, man.
Give me something inside that
That's
basket.
right. Also, fucking Ari Lehman, okay? The guy who played Jason as a kid in the fucking first Friday the 13th
that's so
movie.
That one
Amazing.
scene, man.
I'm so fucking excited to meet him this year. He also has a band called First Jason, and he plays the guitar, and he's actually going to be playing the after party.
That is phenomenal.
His band is playing the after party. Like, this is going to be so much fun, guys. There's so many
Phenomenal.
fucking guests. Like, also a Michael Baldwin, the kid from Phantasm, Lloyd Kaufman, the creator and overlord of trauma. Kenny,
He's the overload.
he is the overlord of trauma. I want him to actually sign my copy. Like, I've met him before, and he signed my copy of Killer Condom, which is one of my favorite trauma movies ever. It's so ridiculous. Like, the fucking condom has teeth on it, and it, like, bites dicks off. It's ridiculous! No pun intended.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played.
Like, and it also...
It's true.
And it, like, it takes place in New York City, but it's in German. Oh, man, I love trauma so much. Terror Firmer, Rabid Grannies.
Yes.
I love Rabid Grannies so much. So much. Kenny Holtz from Kenny vs. Spenny is going to be there. Fucking legendary Mink Stoll. I'm a big John Waters fan, and she is in Pink Flamingos, A Dirty Shame. She's in most of his movies. But the fact that a woman, a person, a human being from Pink Flamingos is going to be there is incredible to me. I met John Waters at Fan Expo a couple years ago, and I have Pink Flamingos on VHS, and I fucking forgot it. I know, I was so mad. So I just got him to, like, sign a poster, but have you seen Pink Flamingos?
Oh, yes.
Megan? Okay,
Yeah,
obviously you've seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh my god, you can't top
It's
that.
outrageous.
You can't
It's
top
outrageous.
that movie.
It's too much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we're pretty fucking excited for Shockstock.
Shockstock.
And we're actually going to be...
We'll be there too.
We're going to be there.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be broadcasting a live episode. Megan, did you forget?
Yeah.
Megan forgot that we're actually
We haven't
going to be
decided
there.
what we're going to do, but I think it'll probably be amazing, and we'll be wandering around and, like, talking to people.
Yeah,
and
interviewing people.
Yeah. Just being genuinely drunk and crazy, like every episode that we do.
We're going to be bringing, we'll have our merch there. We'll have buttons, stickers, t-shirts, like patches and all that junk. And we're also going to be bringing, I actually have 2 TVs with built-in VCRs. So we'll be bringing one of those with a bunch of VHS. And we're just going to play movies all day. And we'll be broadcasting a live episode on the weekends. So that's going to be pretty fucking fun. And so, yeah, stay tuned for the next episode with Jake and James from Shockstock. That's going to be pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, so it's going to be at Centennial Hall, May 27th to the 29th. Lots of VHS vendors. If you are VHS collectors, you won't want to miss this. We got tons of tables full of merch, and definitely come out just to fucking meet Basket Case. Belial.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Awesome. Thanks for listening.
Thank
you guys,
you.
as always, thanks for the support. You can check us out on Instagram, Witchfinger Podcast, witchfinger.com, and also just, like, look us up on Facebook. It's Witchfinger Podcast, I think, as well. Is it?
I think it's...
We need to get our URL straight.
I think it's Witchfinger Horror Podcast on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, thanks guys.
Thank you very much for
Have a
listening.
good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.